The FBI has released new information about the attempted assassination of Donald Trump last month in Butler, Pennsylvania. The suspect, 20-year-old Thomas Crooks, is believed to have acted alone and planned extensively. Despite thorough investigations, his motive remains unclear. That attack resulted in 2 injuries and 2 deaths, including Crooks, who was fatally shot by a Secret Service counter sniper.
Democratic Congressman Lou Correa of Orange County is part of a bipartisan task force investigating the attempted assassination of former President Trump. The group visiting Butler, Pennsylvania this week for a first-hand look at the scene and a talk with local law enforcement. Congressman Correa joins us now from Washington. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Alex. Good to have you.
So what did you learn?
We learned a lot of things. What we wanted to do was visit the site of the attempted assassination. We wanted to see what went wrong, who was in charge, and how can we fix this immediately. Alex, remember, right now we have 2 candidates for the presidency of the United States in real time. And we want to make sure that these candidates are able to speak freely, express their opinions without fearing for their lives. We want to know, why is it that former President Trump came so close to being assassinated? This is unacceptable. So we wanted to see what the situation was like, wanted to judge distances for ourselves, wanted to see the angles, the high tops. We wanted to see where this assailant, Crooks, actually was stationed when he took shots. We want to make sure we get answers. And we walked away from Butler, Pennsylvania with actually more questions than we walked in with. But this was good. We spoke to the local police, local sheriffs, local SWAT teams. So we are beginning to put together a picture of what went wrong and how to fix it.
You're saying you left with more questions than answers? What do you mean by that? What are the key questions you still have?
Absolutely. I'll give you an example, Alex. Who's in charge? I want to know at that site who was in charge. Was it the Secret Service or was it the campaign? This site, by the way, you know, Chairman Kelly, Congressman Kelly, that's running this investigation, has said he would not have chosen this site for a campaign rally. Yet this is where they had it. I want to make sure that the Secret Service going forward has the final say when it comes to security arrangements. As you know, campaigns are very aggressive. They like to have it their way, both Democrat and Republican. But this is not about campaigning. This is about American democracy. We want Americans to know that they are safe, that their candidates are safe, and that it's by the vote that we decide who gets elected and not by an assassin's bullet.
So we know that the former head of the Secret Service is now out after all of this. Are there any other specific changes that you think need to be made right now to ensure the safety of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in the next few months?
Plenty of things that need to change. First of all, again, Secret Service has to be in charge. Anything goes wrong, they are accountable. And I'll give you an example of what went terribly wrong. You see, candidate Trump, after he got hit, his ear got injured, he was still standing. Okay? Compare that to what happened to President Reagan, that great Californian, in the 80s. When they shot him, within a split second, they tackled him, they put him in his car and sped him off. Why was candidate Trump still standing strong when you could have had a second shooter somewhere taking another shot at him? The things that went wrong are unbelievable, Alex, and what we've got to do, fix them right away, and I think we're moving in that direction. But we got to do it like yesterday.
You know, it's crazy because you are a member of Congress actually at the site, and you're telling us that you leave with more questions than answers. You know, there's a lot of people, especially online, who have all sorts of conspiracy theories because they say that there hasn't been a lot of transparency with this, and when there's an information vacuum, people fill in the blanks with stuff that oftentimes isn't accurate. Are you satisfied with the pace of the transparency of this, and what do you say to some of those folks online who are coming up with their own theories, who don't trust what's being said to them?
Well, you know, they have a right not to trust because things went terribly wrong in a way that was just lack of common sense here. Even I can see that. Even you can see that. So, yes, people should question. I want to make sure that everybody that questions the system gets answers. And We should be having answers sooner rather than later, but I want to make sure we get it right. We want to make sure we get the investigation correct, and if there's one lonely gunman that did this on his own, so be it. But I want to make sure everybody in America understands that we investigated this thoroughly to make sure we got every question answered. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This committee, there's 7 Republicans and 6 Democrats. And all of us have worked together in the past, and we're going to do it again because our American democracy depends on coming up with answers that the public can trust.
Yeah. Democratic Congressman Lou Correa from Santa Ana, thank you so much for your work on this. It's important work, and we appreciate you joining us late on the East Coast tonight to talk about it.
You betcha. Thank you very much, Alex.